And now the FIFA ban amounts to a huge black eye for professional football. Joining us to provide some insight on what the scandal means to the organization and to fans is sports journalist Mark Gray, formerly of ESPN Radio. You know, soccer used to be all about the ball. Now it seems like it's all about these bans. Sort it all out for us. I mean, it's a mess, isn't it?
Well, I think that as we look towards the end of the Sepp Blatter legacy, he's going to be looked upon as a guy who took the game to places that had never gone, but there was a significant amount of kickbacks for he and the guys that were working around him in his close little insulated circle. So, Mike, when you put everything into the mix, I think he'll be looked as an innovator and also the guy who oversaw corruption. And when you start talking about black eyes, there's such a passion for the game. I think the fans will be more forgiving, but the public relations nightmare will go on for years to come.
Michel Platini was almost seen as this white knight. Here's a guy who played the game. People loved him. He's going to resurrect the game. Now there's this black cloud over him as well.
It's interesting how it played out as it played out with the Caribbean Federation as well. People who were intricately a part of the revolutionization and the growth of the sport in certain areas. And then you have Platini, who's this revered figure, and I guess when you get right down to it, absolute power does corrupt, and the opportunity to have your fingers so close to such money and things of that nature, it really seemed to have spiraled out of control under Blatter's watch.
Prince Ali of Jordan, does this just give him a clear path, and is he the kind of guy who can actually come in and do much?
That's an interesting question because I don't have a feel for what they are looking for as a governing body, as a steward for the game. I think financially, in terms of sponsorships and revenues, never been better. But in terms of doing, as they say with American sports, operating in the best interest of the game, I really don't have a feel for what the executive body, the board of governors, if you will, of FIFA is looking for in its next leader. I would have to say it's somebody who can continue the global branding and the marketing of the game, but somebody who is a lot more strict in terms of the day-to-day operations. And whether you can find that guy in an election, I'm not quite sure just yet.
What about this acting president? Do we know much about him?
Just that he has, it's a caretaker type of situation right now. You have three people that can operate in a way to keep the ship afloat, to handle the day-to-day operations. But as it stands right now, it's hard to say whether this is somebody who is nothing more than a Blatter crony or whether somebody who has some vision that can just do a better job at stewarding the ship, I should say, during these difficult times.
Well, Mark, thanks so much for offering insight in what has really been an interesting and intriguing story. There's no doubt about it.
And I think the best is yet to come.
We'll keep tuning. We'll have you back.